rather than actually filming myself putting a frame together, this is the frame stage 1. After the chair wigs went onto it, table wigs. And that's the backing and extra bit of support, and that's the overall look of the frame. This is Easy Track Andreastal, or Andreastal. I'm not too sure how they pronounce it in the English translation. I brought this on Boxing Day here in Australia, about December 26, and I got it just in early February because I had to buy it from Germany. There's no real stockers in Australia selling the Easy Track bit. You've got to basically buy it from retailers in Germany. It cost me $205 including postage and the customs in tax, so it wasn't too bad. What you get in it is the Easy Track system, which is a whole load of timber and the pillars to hold it all up. You get 2 guidebooks. One of them, thank God, is in English, and one of them is in German. Now, I'll open this up. All I've done so far is take the guidebooks out. These are the pillars. These are the track diagrams. They're the plans. You put them down. Pillars. That's the next stage that I'm up to at the moment. More pillars. Nails. Lots and lots of timber. Not too sure what that's made of. So, putting that away for a second, because we're getting way ahead of ourselves on this video. All the videos I found on YouTube are from Germany. All the videos are in German. And as much as I love German, I speak bugger all of it. I'm Dutch heritage, not German, and I still don't speak that. This is all the assembly guide here too. So, thankfully, we don't just get a German guidebook, we get the English guidebook. Now, this guidebook is a godsend, because where YouTube lets me down, the guidebook takes over. So I'm going to be building this on a playlist on YouTube, and progressively you'll see it come together. We've done a lot for one day, so I'm pretty happy with it. This is Andreas or Theiss. He's the man that came up with this Easy Track creation and this landscaping guide. Great chap. He's done a great job with this guidebook. He's absolutely brilliant. I've spent 4 weeks reading it. It looks more beaten up now than my first Playboy I had 30 years ago. This book has seriously been getting read. Now, first step you've got to do in here, landscape planning. Normally what you do is you run around, you lay track down, you go crazy. You don't have to do that. Plan your landscape. Because this is one big mountain system. What they give you, you'll be making that. How close you come to putting all this on is up to you. So landscape planning. As it says in the book, I'll read it to you so you don't have to try and read it. Opting for the railway kit Andreastal means the first important step in planning has already been completed. An interesting track plan is provided, so you don't have to worry about drawing a track diagram or calculating gradients. Every mistake I've ever made in 49 years of making these things is getting gradients, so I don't have to do it. That's a good thing. Now the second step, that's the first step, so that's all done for you. The second step, you determine the character of your layout through the choice of buildings. Would you like depict a city scene, or would you like to build a small village? So over here. Or you're going to, with adjoining farm, you could go for special individual buildings. Since Noch has lots of beautiful alpine lodges in the range, I opted a high mountain layout that offers a special appeal and many interesting perspectives. That high mountain's wide valley, and also a deep gorge. Well, as you can see back here, I've got a 50 centimetre high backing board. I put that on today. Right at the front of this video, you'll see still pictures of the supports behind it. It's 50 centimetres high. The board is 2 metres from left to right and 1.2 metres from the front to the back. I live in a rental, so that will fit through a doorway and that will get down the staircase. If I've made that any more than about 600 high, I ain't getting this thing out of the room. So that's what determined the height. We don't really want to go over 60 centimetres or 2 feet. Now, buildings. I have gone ballistic, absolutely ballistic, on YouTube. Sorry, not YouTube, eBay. Let's have a look. We'll start with the easy things. This is 70 years old. Paid about $10 for this. It needs some repairs. Originally there was gardens all around it. It's got some chips out of it. It's one of my figurines having a holiday. So a little bit of paint. I'm going to 3D print a chimney for up there. That will be the feature hotel. This is a bridge house. Now, I painted the gold last Christmas for the Christmas village. Trains eat up at the train track there. So there are videos. I'll put a video up the top here of trains running through that. That's going to get painted grey again, back to stone colour. That will be the feature at the bottom of one of the mountains. As you go up the mountain, you'll get to the Noch Metcalfe Castle. Beyond that, even further up the mountain, and it's still coming in the post, is the Noch Ruin Castle. So as you go up the mountain, you're going to go from different stages through the medieval period of castles. I have got ruins galore to put on that mountain. These pieces here are all Dungeons and Dragons tiles that I made on the 3D printer. Paint them grey, bury them in the forest. They do look like ruins. I've got gates, and I've got a bit of forest, a bit of Noch products on top, and I've got lots of Noch products. Next problem I have 3 signal boxes. Not sure where to put them because I only need one. That's a drain I've made. It's a little culvert to get some water moving around the place. Not sure if I'm going to use the Savings and Loans building. I got that with my Hearns thing. That's going next to the train station, but at the back of it, the coaching in. Also next to the train station is the water. I've got a greenhouse that'll be somewhere. Not sure where yet. Several homes. There's one. There's another one. Another one. Another home. That home. That garage. And that windmill, which is huge. That's 32 centimetres, so it's probably going to be the tallest thing on the village. That is going to have a tulip farm next to it, and I've got Noch tulips to go with it. It's a Pico level crossing to be done over there. I wanted the curved bridge that Noch make. Out of stock everywhere, even out of stock on the German websites. So we went with Kybri. That's a curved bridge. That will do. I need a curved bridge. Aeroplane, which I got for Christmas, that's actually going to be flying up the back. Adds a bit of a 3D effect to your backdrop if you can stick a plane or a floating cloud on it. That's my car collection. I found 2 old HO cars that I got about 30 years ago, and I'll dot them in there somewhere. And that's my Oxford Land Rover that I got last year. So that is the landscape planning. Now the problem with a track, in the back of the guidebook there is track diagrams. Every one of those track parts it tells you is not available in Australia. We'll get more to that later. So we got was Pico Code 100 Flexi track, and it's huge. 90 centimetres, just under a metre long, and I got 25 of them, so there's 22 metres of track I've purchased. Don't need that much. And that's landscape planning. This is track I also have from my Hornby layout, and there's gallons of it in there. And part of my landscape planning, you would have seen the video on here, I have been painting and creating tunnel portal, as well as the bridge for down the back. There is a lot of tunnels in this thing, and there's a lot of tunnels. And as a backup, I also have 25 of these rather old Hornby curves. Don't know if I need it, but we've got track, which is normally a problem I have. Track's very short. I'll go to the back of the book. Seems a bit strange to go ducking around the back. These are the track points. For Markwood, it gives you all the code numbers. Now I wanted every Australian website there was for trains. Some of them who stocked it would stock, say, a few of these, a few of these, a few of these, but they didn't have the lot. And the problem I had putting together the Hogwarts train set last year was that I couldn't get all the track. I kept having to stop the layout because I was short track. So I checked that one. Same problem. I had 2 or 3 of them. I can get 20 of them, but I couldn't get 10 of them. And Tricks was the same. Couldn't get it. So this is good if you're in another country, but it's terrible here. Roco and Pico were the same. I just could not get every single bit of this shopping list. So FlexiTrack was suggested to me by a workmate. Oh, I've got FlexiTrack. So going by these track diagrams, I have 2 perfect straights here. I've got plenty of straight track. The rest of this, There's another straight up here. The rest of this will just be Flexi track going around the village. That's a mountain. That's a mountain. That runs through the centre of the village. As you can see on here. So tunnel portal 1, tunnel portal 2, another tunnel portal up there makes 3, another tunnel portal up there makes 4, another one there 5, one around the corner 6, one down here is 7. Don't worry, there's also another one around here for the water, which gives you an 8th tunnel. So there's a lot of portals to put in. That is landscape planning. I know that took a long time to explain, but while you wait for these things to turn up from Germany, landscape planning is quite easy to do. You just get stuck on eBay. Right, we'll go to the next page. As I say, this book is well loved. This is frame construction. And with frame construction, see the shape? I do not know why they didn't just stick to rectangle. Watching the 3 videos I found on YouTube that are in German, I could not tell which side of the layout that was on, whether that cutout was on the right or the left. On the book it looks like it's on the right. So when you look up here, you would think that was the cutout. But, you can see where the dent is here. On one of the videos I've watched, they've actually got the cutout over here. It looks like it's on this side to me. Whichever way, there is going to be an additional, I've made that rectangular. This is 2 meters, and that is 1.2 by 2 meters. Nice, perfect rectangle layout. So that little corner, extra landscaping. With this bit up here, the track, the loop track, I'm not going to keep it as a loop. What I've got to do, and you have to excuse it as we walk around this room, there's a gap here. Between that gap, this is the fiddle yard at the moment. That's where all the trains are getting stored. I've got to connect it up to the fiddle yard eventually. So that is going to have to be a dead end. Okay, so that's track planning. Now, frame construction. This is really easy. Tells you over here the lengths, so 2 meters. See that? I'll zoom in a bit for you. 2 meters. And then 947, 847, 840, 1152, 368, 371. If you need it, it's there. Cordless drill, small screws, cordless drill, and as you can see over here, lots of small screws. And I use chipboard screws even though this is not chipboard. Now it's just on here. Where we find it? Here we go. 2 MDF boards with a thickness of 3 mil. Okay, so I went out and I purchased this MDF board of 3 mil. Now, nothing wrong with that, but when you have multiple sheets of it side by side, it wobbles too much. It's too soft. I had a couple of 7 mil sheets on hand that, if you watch the GoFund videos, this is from the old GoFund layout that I did. I had to pull it apart when we moved house. This is plywood is much better. It's only 7 mil, but there's no track being attached to this plywood. All the track is up on this pedestal. It's all up on this. Nothing is actually on this board. All this board is getting, so again, we'll go back over yonder. This, very organised room. I've got the basic terraforming kit. It's all Noch terraforming gear. Noch Flexi tubes, poles, more Flexi tube, lots and lots of these. So effectively, I think I've got some lists here. You stick these all over the plywood, and that's the only thing on the plywood. That and these bases that are in here. Where have I put them? Those. That's all that's attached to your plywood. You don't need a lot of strength. So if you do use MDF 3 mil, get it as one sheet, because having joins in it didn't work for me. And as I say, I changed it to plywood. Now, I've seen some still photos that I've put on here. This is 2 meters. It's nice. I just put the backing board on. I've stuck that just to the right height so I can get it out this door, and then we've got to go down a staircase. It's a long way. And there's another skirting board along here, and a small, Most people put skirting boards on the front. I don't know if I want a skirting board along the front, but that's half the construction needed for the mountain. The other half of the frame construction, I do need to put boards along here, just so the mountain can make an L shape, if you get what I mean, like a triangle. Same over here, triangle. My theory, this is back to landscape planning again. If Noch could put an A3 size poster in their box, it would make life easy, because this is the only picture you've got that's of any size to plan with. That gap up the back where they got that belly trestle bridge, I'm going to narrow those two mountains up to make it more of a gorge, and from there probably to that side, because that seems a good course, I'm going to run a river. The windmill will probably be in here, but I'll run a river out there. The bridge that it's got to go over, that's the bridge. So this bridge, and this is only a foot long, is going to be, get it in place, roughly down there against the back and 10 centimetres up off that plywood. So that's only narrow, whereas that's quite wide there. We're going to make it narrow, and we're going to drag the mountain in. So it's a very narrow, like Cataract Gorge in Tasmania if you've been to Launceston. It's going to be a narrow gap. So frame construction, that's the stage that we're at, and that's where we're done with so far. The next step is Easy Track System. Now, Easy Track System is that, laying out all these sheets. It will fit because this board is about 3 centimetres too big for the track, so better to be too big than too small. So we are large enough. Let's put this away. More Noch products in there, chainsaw gang. So these will get stretched out, and that'll be on the next video because this one's already too long. Hopefully, you'll stay tuned for more videos.